Yo, what's good YouTube? It's Redox DomiNations here once again. Welcome back with some more awesome DomiNations goodness here for you guys. And today I want to talk about a very interesting topic that somebody has posted. His name is OneTime80. He has posted a topic called Wonders Suck. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at why he says the wonders suck. Okay, so we have a few devices running, leveling nations with different builds. By Enlightenment Age, every wonder in this game except Notre Dame is useless and actually make your nation worse. Notre Dame is good because the attacking army doesn't get victory points from it, and its effect is super useful. In addition to the following individual problems, all wonders are huge. They take up so much space they become impractical, and you just get more and more of them. By end game, you throw them to the side because they don't do anything other than make your base design crap and give your enemies free victory points. So what he's trying to say is Notre Dame is the only good wonder in the game because you can't attack it, which means that your opponent can't get the 50% destruction faster. And as you guys know, the only way to win in this game is to either destroy the town center or get the 50% destruction. That's the only way to get a victory star. So he's saying that you can't attack Notre Dame, so your opponent has to attack more buildings to get the 50% destruction. And also its effect, the library discount, is super useful. And I do agree with this guy completely on what he said. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Bronze Age wonders first. So he says, the pyramids are useless because the range is too short. Good luck getting all your farms near it. Its effect is laughable. At the start of the game, it provides you with about an extra 100 food per hour combined. End game about 2,500 per hour. The Acropolis is useless because a practical base design that can take advantage of its effect is impossible, and it doesn't really do much. Wow, you save about 4 seconds by endgame. Hanging Gardens useless. The amount of resources provided are a joke. The best part is it reduces gathering time by 10 seconds. Wow, that's worth the space and investment while your enemies enjoy the fat victory points it gives them. Stonehenge is useless because same situation as pyramids. The amount of resources it provides is a joke. So what this guy's saying is completely correct. Everything he says about this is completely correct, and I do agree with this guy, except for the Acropolis. I feel like Acropolis is a very good early to mid game item. It might not be good as the late game because when cannons start coming in, yeah, they can destroy everything at range, but Acropolis actually helps their defense boost a lot in the early mid game because a lot of people can't deal with the fast garrison and stable respawn time. And I can actually tell the difference between my Redox account and Kanji account. My Redox has Acropolis, and I can actually defend a lot better on that account than on my Kanji account. My troop respawn time is a lot slower, I've noticed that, and they go down a lot faster without the health bonus, of course, but you have to be in the radius, and that is kind of annoying. So what this guy is saying is definitely correct, that all these wonders in the end game will become completely useless and bogus. But out of all of these four, Acropolis is probably the best one. So if you had to choose a Bronze Age wonder, you'd probably want to go with the Acropolis. Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about the Classical Age wonders right now. Oh, by the way, why do I keep saying the Hanging Gardens is useless? Because I've already had to respond to a lot of people about this. But why I keep saying the Hanging Gardens is the worst one is because it requires villagers. Okay, the fact that this is the only wonder in game that needs to have villagers in order for it to work, it makes it complete bogus and complete crap. Okay, the wonder should not have any villagers required to work on it. By the time you get to medieval age, your buildings are going to take so long to build that you're not going to have a lot of villagers working on it. Like, having a lot of free villagers it becomes a problem from the medieval age, from the late medieval age at least. So I don't like the Hanging Gardens at all, and also because the resources it provides you are a joke, and also you get a lot of cider and metal from your mines and trees. By the time you get the library upgrades for the economy, you get 2 extra trees. You also get a percentage boost. I always have no problem whatsoever getting the cider and metal. I always have full capacity of those two. Those two are the only resources that I don't need, in fact. So Hanging Gardens is completely useless compared to the other ones. But let's go ahead and talk about the Classical Age wonders right now. Okay, so he says the Colosseum, okay then useless. Good at the mid game, obsolete by end game. Throw it to the side, goes down in 2 seconds, free victory points to your enemy. The Terracotta Army, useless. It provides about 2000 HP to a max castle, its best feature, which means it needs to be far within your base. Its worst feature, that 2000 HP doesn't do much with the amount of stupidly high DPS and range you can put out. The bonus army once per day is good, but not worth the space or victory point loss. And the Forbidden City is useless because the amount of food once per day, your enemy will just blow it through, and if they reach your real town center, you lost anyway from 50% destruction. no one rushes Town Center endgame. You don't need to. So I definitely agree with this guy once again. And Notre Dame, of course, we've already talked about it. That already is a great wonder. The Coliseum, okay to useless. Once again, Coliseum is a mid-game item. It's not so good as in the late game, but I found the Coliseum and Acropolis combination on my Redux account to be very, very helpful in terms of defense. Coliseum is technically a town center that can spawn defenders over and over again, so it's really, really good. And I still like my Coliseum. That's why I chose Coliseum over Notre Dame once again on my kanji account. I know the Notre Dame will help me in the longer run, but Coliseum, the amount of defense that it provides is just undeniable. I think Coliseum is just freaking good. Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about the other ones. Terracotta is useless because 2000 HP to a max castle, although it's good, your castle is not a great defensive item. The range is too short on your castle, so once your enemies have cannons, boom, it goes down, or you know, it becomes another building you have to protect once again. And a castle is not that small, so you know, it's still a pretty big building, but it's not as big as the Wonders, I think. So you know, it's not that bad. But the worst feature is probably the 2000 HP, or I don't know how much HP they give you on the barracks. I don't know why the Terracotta army gives you a worthless bonus of extra HP to your barracks. Your barracks are not going to be useful in any way. They're just more buildings to destroy. They don't do anything. And also the bonus army that gives you once per day, it's good, but it's not enough to justify the fact that it makes it a great wonder. Also, the Coliseum gives you a gladiator attack bonus per day, which I do like. When I put it on my cannons or ballista, like, they knock out buildings really fast. So the bonuses that the Coliseum and the Terracotta gives you, you know, the bonus army per day and the bonus attack per day gives you are great, but I guess they just don't justify the reason of these two wonders being that awesome. But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about Forbidden City. So the useless amount of food once per day, yeah, that's useless. You know, the amount of food it gives you is just puny, and also the amount of gold that the Notre Dame gives you is puny as well. They don't help at all. And also your enemy will just blow through it, and if they reach your real TC, you lost anyway. Okay, so yeah, so what he's trying to say is by the end game you can just destroy 50% of the buildings, don't even have to touch a town center, get the victory start, and you're good. So the Forbidden City, in a way, I think it is not that good right now. Now, I thought they were good, but you know, I was just thinking about the Forbidden City for a while, and I realized that it's not a great wonder. It's not as good as I thought it was. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the final wonders right now. Okay guys, so the last 4 wonders we want to talk about is going to be the Gunpowder Age ones. Of course, that's going to be the Versailles. Super useless. The range on this thing is shorter than a something's genitals. Completely useless. The basic soldier can outrange kill it, and spamming soldiers is what you do with supply wagons and cannons with a few archers or cavalry. Angkor Wat, useless. Pointless heal function. Defenders will just get out damaged before it ticks twice, assuming they're within its stupid radius, which means your base design is crap. Only useful for its trade good increase, which itself is useless for the resource cost. Victory point loss, and then Taj Mahal is useless. Defense buildings have low HP to start with. A 20% increase is nothing compared to the DPS you just spam shit everyone with. Temple of Tikal, useless. To use it means you have a crap base design, and if the enemy is near your resource buildings, that means you pretty much lost anyways. Wow, it gives them an extra 1 second of staying alive. Whoop they fucking do. If you manage to kill most of their army, a handful of survivors picking that stuff won't matter anyway. So once again, he's saying that they're all useless, and once again I agree. And I'll explain why. The Versailles range is very small. It's way smaller than the Acropolis range. So it's like the smallest in the game, I think. And your enemy troops, by the time you get to the Enlightenment Age, they'll all have guns. And they'll just outrange it and kill it. So it's a sitting duck. And then we got to Angkor Wat, which gives you a pointless heal function, because although it's got a pretty big radius, it's got like 2 barrack radius or something like that. The heal it gives you is puny. You know, your troops will die before your enemy... before your troops even get a substantial amount of healing done. And the trade good bonus it gives you per day is puny. Once again, it's one of those useless daily bonuses that this game always likes to give you out. And then we got Taj Mahal and Temple of Tikal, which gives you building health bonus, which are not that awesome, you know, because your buildings don't have a lot of HP. I mean, your defensive buildings don't have a lot of HP compared to the mills and your storages, but once again, what's the point of giving these a defense boost when you can't even defend the wonders itself? That's basically what it is. And I definitely agree with this guy once again, and that is why I have not built any Gunpowder Age wonders on my Redux account, and I'm not going to build them on kanji either. And I suggest no one build these Gunpowder Age wonders. In fact, let's go ahead and talk about what he says, some of his last words of advice. And by looking at our industrial age icons, it looks like Kremlin will be one of the next wonders. Great, that's 4 huge useless objects in our base, making it easier for our enemies to get medals. Why aren't the effects on things like pyramids nationwide? And why don't they actually do something other than make your nation suck? You should only be allowed to have 1 wonder in your whole base. The effect should be good. You should be able to break down and rebuild to any wonder you like at any time, with time and resource costs being age appropriate. 1 wonder per player makes it more unique, makes it more relevant to base design, makes people think, ooh, you picked that one. It adds character to the game, and more importantly, make them fucking do something other than give your enemies free victory points and act as ornaments on the side of the base. For fuck's sakes, developers, and you're making more of them available. Wow, no, bad developer, bad. If you're new to the game and still leveling, don't build any wonder except Notre Dame. Save your time, resources, space, and victory points. So once again, guys, I do agree with what he's saying. I think the wonder should not have a radius. I think the radius really cuts down the potential of a lot of these wonders. With the radius, it really stops them from working properly. We don't need it. We need to have a nationwide, base-wide, no radius effect. And the second thing he's saying is that we should have 1 wonder instead of 4, which we can rebuild, and that 1 wonder should have multiple effects at one time. I definitely agree with this. You know, having less buildings once again is better. We don't need to have 4 gigantic buildings in our base that our opponents can steamroll through and get 50% destruction faster. But having 1 wonder, it really helps our bases a lot. And also, being able to rebuild it is obviously a great idea. So this leads me to the question of why Big Huge Games has still not let us change our wonders. This should have been done a long ass time ago. This game has been out for 6 months. And they still don't let us do it. So, you know, I don't understand. There's a lot of people out there. One of the most frequent complaints or requests I've seen anywhere on the forums or on YouTube is that people are whining about choosing the wrong wonder. So they should really let us change it. You know, I don't understand what's taking them so long. But anyways, it says if you're new to the game and still leveling, don't build any wonder except Notre Dame. Save your time, resources, space, and victory points. I think this last line of advice is quite good, but I don't really completely agree with it because I still like my Colosseum and Acropolis combination. That it really works very well. I really like my Colosseum and Acropolis. If you use them correctly, they'll help your base a lot. But what he's saying definitely does make sense because Notre Dame is the best wonder in the game. It really is the only wonder that helps you by the time you get to the end game, of course, because you can't attack it. But once again, I still like my Acropolis, and I really haven't had a problem with Colosseum either. So anyways, thanks for watching once again, guys. This was a very important topic that I needed to bring out, and this guy had a wonderful forum post explaining about the wonders. This guy made a very good point on the wonders right now, and I think Big Huge Games really need to fix the wonders right now and buff them or change the mechanics, change the way the wonders work right now because they're not doing so good, they're not doing so hot, and they should definitely let us change our wonders anytime, pretty damn soon. So thanks for watching this once again, guys, and I'll see you all next time.